Hi kiddos. So today for vocab we're going to keep it pretty light. We're just going to be exploring two new prefixes, inter and trans. So I'm going to go over what these two words mean. I'm going to go over the signs and just a little bit about how to complete today's vocab lesson. It should be pretty quick today. I kept it that way really intentionally because I know there's been a lot this week. So our first prefix, again, these are both prefixes, so we know that they become before in the root in words. So inter means between. So the sign for that is you take your left hand and you kind of make sure your thumb is up, so you're making a nice little kind of gap, because the next hand is going to go right between that, as if you're just taking your palm going between, and then you kind of go back and forth as if you're like flopping like a fish. So between for inter, between, and that's that sign right there. Inter, between. The next prefix, trans, actually has three different meanings. It can mean through, across, and beyond. So for through, you take your left hand, kind of separate between your pinky and the other fingers, if you can do that, and then take your right hand and go right through that hole. So trans, through, across, take your left hand and put it out flat so the palm is facing down. Your right hand is going to go right across your knuckles. Across. And then the last one, beyond, you're going to take both hands, you're going to put them flat, put your right hand behind your left, and then for beyond, it's going to jump over your left hand and go beyond. I'll show that from the side. Beyond. So trans, we have through, across, and beyond. One I like to think about it is I always think about the Buzz Lightyear phrase, like to infinity and beyond. And I like to go trans, through, across, and beyond. So you have some new looking worksheets to fill out today, that these are going to focus on both of those prefixes, inter and trans, and then there's just a little tiny bit of review at the end for the root sect, which we know means to cut, right? So it's 4 pages, and that seems like a lot, but I promise you it's really not that much. A lot of it is just information. For example, the second page and half of the third page are all just definitions of words that use those roots. So it's a mix of information and also some activities for you to do to familiarize yourself with those words. These are going to go up on Seesaw when you finish them with your completed work on there. And if you're thirsty for more, there is a word list up there that has words that contain both prefixes, inter and trans. You can look at this word list and go through some of the words and see if you can kind of make meaning out of these words on here just by looking at the words and breaking them down by root and thinking about what those prefixes, inter and trans, mean. And then maybe even you want to take out a dictionary and compare your definitions and see how you did. Again, that's optional, nothing to turn in, so don't worry about that. I would like you to turn in the work in this packet here for inter and trans. But one more time before we go, let's do those signs again together. Inter, between, I'm going right between. Trans, through, across, and beyond. Through, across, and beyond. Now it's time for you to go to infinity and beyond in your vocab work. That's all. Enjoy.